In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create Instagram Reels easily in Canva. So we're getting ready to get started. You're not hearing me? Yes. Sorry about that. So I'm on YouTube and Instagram. So I'm going to be juggling both screens. And if at any time on Instagram, if you want to go on YouTube, that's totally fine. And I am live on Carey Digital. All right. So let's dive into it. Pretty much, I will going through easy ways you can create reels, literally. All right. So let's do this. All right. I'm gonna remove this screen. All right, cool. Let's jump into it. All right. All right, so one of the first things that I want to mention is that, and I think a lot of us really know this. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just let me know before I start going dive in. Never created reels in Instagram in Canva before, so I'm interested in learning about everything. All right, great to hear. All right, good. All right, so one of the first things that we should know about reels is that Instagram is pushing them, right? We know that content is king and video is something that pretty much all platforms are pushing. One, the social media landscape has changed significantly over the last few years. And so one of the things that we need to be mindful of is that people want to consume content quickly. And in order for persons to really engage with your video, then of course, you need to ensure that you're communicating with them effectively and in just like within seconds you need to start catching their attention, getting their attention, right? And so that's how the reels are doing good. And so any TikTok video or reels that's doing good is like within the first 5 seconds, boom, people are catching them, right? So that's something that we just need to know. So with Canva, a lot of persons might not be video editors and all of these things, but for content creators or for entrepreneurs who really want to get their message across in an easy way and being able to create multiple reels, Canva is really a good tool, right? Because templates are available where you can just plug and play. All right. So I'm now on the Canva home screen and you are seeing this section that says, what will you design today? Right? So there's a section that says for you. And if I click for you, that's pretty much where you will see all my content that I've created or all the designs I've created. But there's a section that says social media, right? And once you select social media, that is where you will get access or see unlimited templates for Instagram posts, Facebook posts, reels, all the good stuff, right? But today, as like I said, we're focusing on Instagram reels, and I'm going to select the tab that says Instagram reel. The great thing about Canva is that the designs already come optimized for each platform, right? So you don't have to be worrying about the dimensions or anything like that. You just need to go in and start plug and play, right? And so one of the things that might be a little bit overwhelming for you is if you are not a designer, so to speak, or if you are not good at designing or you have a little to no graphic designing skills, wherever you fit yourself into that box, seeing a blank canvas can really overwhelm you, right? And so that's why the templates are really good for you, right? So there are a ton of templates here, right? And in today's video or session, I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you how you can edit one of Canva's existing templates and make it your own. And I'm also going to show you how you can pretty much create something from scratch, right? One of those reels that's just easy to create. If you have been following me on my Instagram page or you have been seeing my posts, then you'd realize I've been creating a few reels. You probably wouldn't have known I created them in Canva, but I've created a few reels in Canva and they're pretty much easy to navigate. So I'm going to go on my Instagram page and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I created 2 reels earlier this week, and this was one of them, and this was created in Canva, right? I don't know if you would say this look like it's easy to do, but it's way easy. It's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to create something like this, right? And then I'm going to show you how to pretty much convert your photo into a reel. So the first thing we're going to do is that one. All right. So with a blank canvas, so I'm going to use a photo from the Canva library. And I just want to mention you can create your reels on the free version of Canva. There are unlimited templates available for free. However, if there's any particular template that you would want to use that has a crown, right? And you'd see like a little crown here. I want to zoom in just a little so you can see. Yeah, anywhere you see a crown, just notice from now, anywhere you see a crown that is in a yellow color, that means you don't have the pro version. If it's grayscaled, then of course you have the pro version, and you can literally just use all any and every template, right? So I'm going to go to the Canva library, and I just want to plug for my people on Instagram. If you're not seeing the screen properly and you feel like, hey, I want to get a better view, you can join me on YouTube, because I'm also live on YouTube, and my YouTube channel is Carey Digital. All right. So at any point you feel like you can't see the screen properly, then of course I would pretty much serving both platforms as best as I can. All right, cool. So I'm going to the library, and now I am going to go to the section that says elements, and you can find elements on the left hand tab, right? So I'm going to search for photos, right? And I'm just going to look for any random photo, but one of the things I must mention that there are unlimited photos in Canva, so you can make use of those. There are stock images, really great stock images as well. All right, cool. So I'm going to use this photo, but to give it like a little more flexibility in terms of using this photo, I'm going to include or utilize, I would say, a grid, right? And I can just drag this photo and drop it to the back. All right, so this photo is a little, well, it's a full screen, so we can adjust this as we need as we go on, right? So I am now going to add a text, and in this, I would say, all right, 1 second. How to, so we're going to do like a tip, 3 tips for new entrepreneurs. That's pretty much the topic, right? So we can add our text, and that text can be whatever you desire, right? And then I am going to go again in the section that says elements. Pretty much that's where you're going to live and breathe everything in Canva once you're creating a design, right? So I'm going to use this square, drop it to the back, right? And if I'm using shortcuts on my laptop, however, you can use, once you select any element, you can click the 3 dots. Once you select the 3 dots, you'll see more, and this gives you option to copy style, paste, duplicate, whatever it is. And in order to change the alignment of your image or anything, then you can use that section, right? So I'm gonna select, I'm gonna make the text smaller, all right, and do that. All right, if you have any questions in between the session, please drop them in the tab and let me know. All right, so one of the things are the guidelines in terms of creating any graphic in Canva is to ensure you use like the margins as a guide. And how you can use the margin is by going to File, then we go to View Settings, and then you have Show Margin. So now my margins is on, and margins are pretty much like a safe zone that you don't go out of that space. So in case you're posting it on social media, in this case for Instagram, you don't want your text to be too far aligned to the right. That means when it's posted, it get cut off, or it's too far aligned to the left, right? So just use the margins as a guide, just a key note, right? So I'm going to put my text here and I'm going to change the color, right? And this is something that I'll be teaching you guys how to do. So if, for instance, you're not really, you would call yourself a designer, you would really necessarily call yourself someone who's really good at designing. One of the things I'll be offering is like a course to go through how to create social media graphics. I'll be announcing my course in Canva, my Canva course next Friday. So you want to keep posted for that. All right. So we kind of just drop this here, right? And I'm going to change the text color to black. Yeah. All right. So now you're like, but Carey, like, how can I just get this moving in Canva, right? One of the big elements of making a reel is pretty much the movement, right? So that's why I'm saying you can use a regular photo, and pretty much what you're going to do is do some animation. So what I'm going to do is I've learned this really great tip is that people are making reels so much shorter because one, like I said, a lot of persons don't necessarily have that attention span. And if you're going to be very honest, when you're watching reels, like you just want to, if they're not catching you, you're moving, all right? But if you like you're an entrepreneur, want to get people attention, and you're sharing information, a great way is to make your reels shorter and then load up your caption with really valuable content. So you're gonna see what I'm gonna do. So like I have the topic here, I am now going to make this smaller. All right. So I'm gonna drop this here and I'm gonna say something like read the captions. Let me know if you have ever seen stuff like that on Instagram. Before I was like, yeah, if I'm not interested, I'm going to scroll anyway. But if it's like a really good topic, then of course I'm gonna scroll into the captions and read the caption for more for details. Or right, no, for tips. Right. We want to make our text legible, big enough, readable, that kind of thing. We check for like text spelling and everything. So that's something we also want to be mindful of in Canva or just in creating content generally. Yeah. All right. So we have that. I'm going to group my text. I'm going to drop this here. I'm going to change this photo, guys. I know pretty much you get the concept, but for me, I'm going to change this photo and I'm going to look for an entrepreneur. Yeah, like something more relatable and to the topic. All right. So, all right. One of the reasons why I use grid is that once you use grid, you can like easily reposition your graphics. And I love that. Right. All right. So this can work, right? This can work. Yeah. Let me just thank you guys for joining. I am live on YouTube as well for my Instagram people. If you want to join me over there, that's totally cool. If at any point throughout the live you cannot see my screen properly, you can join me on YouTube. All right, cool. I think this is something that's pretty decent and we can get started. So one of the first things in order to make your graphic or this design that I've made using just a regular photo movable is the animation tool. Now, video is a big thing in Canva, right? As I mentioned earlier, video is the order of the day, right? And so in order to add some movement to this photo, I'm going to go to the section and I'm going to move in my camera just a little so you can see what's going on for my Instagram people. And you can pretty much either create an animation or you can use some of the others that are available on Canva, right? And they have different categories, like they would say basic, they would have a section that says exaggerate, photo movement, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to select, right? So you can animate each element, right? So you can pretty much animate each element. So I'm going to select the photo, then I'm going to select animate. For my Instagram, guys, can you see my screen properly? I would definitely want you guys to see this clearly, right? I'm going to select animate. And once I select animate, I am going to choose the movement I want for my photo specifically. No, nothing else but my photo. So I'm going to choose photo flow. I can either choose to make the photo move when it enters on the page, or animate in terms of when it enters or when it exits, right? So I can do both, right? There's also, oh, let me just move my screen a little bit. Yeah. I also want you to you can also decide on the intensity. So if you look on the left hand side of my screen, that's where we're focusing right now in terms of to choose the type of animation that we want. I can choose the photo flow, photo rise, photo zoom, right? So you're seeing the movement here. One of the things we should be mindful of, right, is our audience. So when we're creating these reels, we have to be mindful of our audience. Are we targeting younger people? Are we targeting older persons? Are we targeting persons who want excitement? What is your, what is the focus of your content, or what's the goal of your content, I should say? And also think about your audience. Always keep your audience in mind. So it's not necessarily about what you love, but it's what would resonate the best with your audience, right? So it all depends on the content. And so based on that knowledge, you will choose the best movement for your audience. So for instance, if I'm giving tips, and I'm talking about new ways for entrepreneurs, and my audience not necessarily into the excitement, they just want something, they just want to take the time and read through, then of course I will choose a slower moving type of animation. If my audience love the excitement, no, in the face kind of thing, then I would choose something that's more, extravagant, right? Or exaggerated. All right, so photo flow, I'm going to use photo flow. Photo movement, I'm going to use photo flow, sorry. And then now I am going to go and choose an animation for my title. And I'm just going to use pan, right? So pan is something very light, nothing too extra, no nothing. And then I can either choose to animate, right? This section that says read the caption for tips, or I can choose not to, right? And I'm gonna just click and play this video for you so you can get an idea. All right. Just like that, guys. This is a reel made, right? How easy was that? Like, if you think this was just really easy, just comment and let me know. Comment and let me know how easy that was, right? And this is just using a photo. So if you want to use your photo, or if you want to use photos from the Canva library, you can also do that, right? So I won't necessarily show you how to publish it in Instagram. I'm just showing you guys how to create it in Canva. All right. And when you're going to download your, okay, I think I'm moving a little too fast. I'm going to backtrack a little. Once you have selected your types of the animation that you like, and you feel like you're well suited with it, you can do a few things, right? And one of the things you can do is to leverage Canva's music library. No, you can access, I'm gonna move my screen here for my people on Insta. So to access Canva music library, you will go to the section that says audio, right? And when you go to audio, there are tons of just soundtracks and sounds you can use. So we have different categories. We have the categories of happy, we have upbeat, we have calm, they have instrumentals, they have all these things. And one of the things that I realize in terms of content creation, we have to find a way how to stand out. We have to think about ways we can be a little different, be unique, right? So yes, we know that the trending songs can have a high possibility of getting your reel viewed. But it's also good to probably try like a different sound, so you know, so your thing not look like everybody else thing, or not sound like every, you understand what I mean? Just think about ways it can be unique. And the fact that Canva has this like tons of audio sound, like sounds or soundtracks, you can, this is just one of the ways you can leverage that. But I must mention, in order to leverage Canva's music library, a lot of the audio is really accessible if you have Canva Pro. So if you don't have Canva Pro and you want to try Canva Pro free for 30 days, I'm going to drop my link where you can just utilize my link, get access to it free for 30 days. You try it out, see how best you like it, and then you know you can pretty much, you know, move on. Or you can say, well, yeah, I don't necessarily need a pro version, or you know, you love it so much you want to get a monthly subscription. All right, so for this reel, I am going to choose a calm type of beat. Right, so I'm going to look for I can do also a search in my audio tab and search for calm instrumental and better sound. Let me see. Right, I'm just doing a quick search for some of these sounds. Probably, probably that's something like okay. All right, but for this purpose, we're going to choose. All right, so I'm going to choose just a random audio for this purpose, right? I've selected the version or the sound that I want. Calming now work, guys. Okay, they have a section, a category called Happy Calm. Let me see. Right. So choose. All right, cool. So we have selected our song. We don't want to spend too much time on that. When you're creating your own, really, you can spend all the time in the world going through the different audio, deciding what you like. All right. So one of the things you can do is you can do select audio effects. I'm zooming in a little for my people on Instagram. So you have audio effects, and you can choose to either fade in your sound or you can fade out your sound, right? So you have that option, and again, this is all up to you. It's based on your personal style, your personal liking, that kind of thing. You can also adjust your music, right? So we have this little section. We can adjust where we want the music to play, and we just make. So this section where you're seeing the purple line, the purple section here where you're seeing like the music, you know, sound. What am I saying? Not the music zone. But yeah, you get the gist. This section where you see the purple, this is where you can literally just move your cursor and choose where you want the music to play. And I'm gonna, right. So I realize we have two sounds here. I'm gonna delete one. That is it. So you can just adjust to your liking. You can also trim your audio. So if you feel like, you know, it's too long or you want to make your clip shorter, you can make the adjustment in that way as well. All right. And then you can, there's a thing called sync beat on Canva, and pretty much you can make your reels be synced literally to the beat. So I'm gonna show you. So pretty much your pages and elements will automatically be timed to the music. I will show you how to do this or how to utilize this feature when we're creating like at least three different pages to create a reel, right? So it wouldn't be necessarily, it would make sense for this particular reel that I'm showing you to create, to be honest. All right. Just gonna play, show you what it looks like. And this is our first reel. Yeah, this was pretty easy, I would say. You can let me know in the comments if you think it was something easy. All right, so that's our first reel. I'm just gonna show you, and that is it. That's where the animation comes in. If you want to if you want to add other animated elements, you can go to the section that says elements and type in stickers. Right, once you select stickers, then you will see some graphics that's a bit animated. Right, so we can go here and you can choose aesthetic stickers. They're like literally what you call that now, tons of different categories you can choose from. If there's something that you have in mind, then you can also choose from that. I'm just gonna choose something called Spark, so we can get some animation going on. One second, I'm looking for something here. And in order to find stuff like this, you go to the section that says graphics. All right. So you see how I have this, you know, animated version of like drawing attention to the graphic. This works well. All right. So I'm going to use this and I'm just going to make it bigger and I'm going to drop it to the back. I think I'm moving too far back. Right. So I can just make it bigger. Right. So that's also another, you can add animation to your reels, right? I don't necessarily like the overdone stuff. I normally prefer like nice minimalist type of designs and reels. But if you're that type, if that's what your audience is drawn to, and if that's what your brand is about, then you can use animated features like this, right? um right, so that's pretty much it. And in order to share, pretty much you're going to download it as an mp3 file. So you're going to click the icon that says share with an arrow pointing upwards, then you're going to select download, then you're going to go to file type, and file type should be MP4, not MP3, which is, and one of the things about Canva, once you have selected the right template for whichever platform, they're going to suggest how you should download the file pretty much, right? So for your reels, use the Instagram Reels template to help you, right? And you go to high quality video and you can download, right? So you can download, but you can also, I'm just going to share this quickly, share it on your social media platform of your choice. So one of the things you must know, I think you should know, is that you can share your reel to TikTok, right? It's pretty much the same dimension, everything, right? So you can go to Instagram. If you are connected, you can also, one of the things you need to do is to ensure your social media page is connected to your Canva account, right? So you can utilize your mobile app or you can do it from your desktop. And they also mention what's best here. All right, so and go continue. I have my account linked here. Well, the Instagram account I'm using now is not connected to it right now. So pretty much I would have to put in captions, that kind of thing, right? But I think you should mention this. Instagram does not support scheduling for stories or reels right now. You can share your story. You can still share your story on reels via mobile, right? So it's not available for the mobile version, for the desktop version, sorry, but you can do it from the mobile version. All right, so that's something to note. All right, cool. we're finished with this one. We're jumping onto another type of reel you can create in Canva. All right, let me know if you got that. For people who are with me on Instagram, type and let me know if that was something that you thought was easy to create. Do you have any questions? Did I miss you on anything? Let me know. Let me know before I move on. This is your time to ask all the questions. All right. We have no questions. I am going to now add. Let me just save this. IG Reel for Canva. So what I'm going to do is to add another page. I'm going to add 2 more pages, right? Probably 3 more, right? And this one is if you want to give tips. If you want to share tips, then this is also great for you, all right? And I am now going to go to the templates that are available on Canva. I'm just going to show you how we're going to just adjust an existing template and make it our own, right? And this is if you really don't have the time or you don't have that, you're not in that creative space to create your content from scratch, right? You know, you have the copy ready, you're ready to post, but really and truly to design, you don't really have the creative space for that, right? So this is good. So I'm going to go and choose. So we're looking for tips. I'm going to choose a reel that is sharing some tips. Let me go through. All right, so we're using this one. And pretty much to adjust these, or to adjust this template, I should say, I am going to change the video. Oops, I did something off there. I am going to, right, delete the video. Right, I'm deleting the video because, right, we're still giving tips, like 3 tips for entrepreneurs, right? Why am I doing this? I'm going too fast. Okay, good. So delete. Great. All right, so we have our first thing here. Now we're going to move this, right? Because we're not only sending them in the caption, we can move this particular call to action to the last page, right? And we're gonna change it. All right, so pretty much the template is here. We're giving people some tips, right? I'm just gonna change the color. So always ensure that your content is you know, in alignment with your brand. Hopefully you're not using purple and green this week and then next week you're using blue and white or whatever it is. Just work on being consistent and you can pretty much leverage Canva's brand hub to help you. So pretty much the color scheme I'm using is for my own brand, Carey Digital, but you can go to the tab. I have a tons of, well, not really tons, but I have a few like brand kits that I've created, those that I've created for my clients and those that I've used for, pretty much for creating my Canva templates, right? So you can leverage your brand hub to ensure that you're putting your brand colors, your brand logo, your brand font, and then so for each time you're going in, you can just plug and play, which makes your life so much easier. All right, cool. So I'm gonna just change the font here. All right, I'm gonna change the color. Right. So we're not necessarily going to change the text, right? Because we're going to just act like this content here is about tips for entrepreneurs. I'm just showing you how you can just change the layout and everything in terms of like color and stuff. We're not going into changing the copy and all of those things. Not right now. Not right now. All right, cool. But it's something you should be mindful of when you are creating. Okay, I'm doing something a little like the long way. There's an option on Canva where, like, once I select like a color, like I'm changing out colors, Canva normally give like a suggestion or recommendation. Like they would say, do you want to change all the colors in your on the pages? And if it gives you, it normally pops up to the left hand side of your page somewhere over here. And so if it pops up, then literally you just need to work with it and just say change all if that's something you want to do. All right, cool. And we're changing the color here. All right, cool. So we have this, and I'm gonna add one more page, and I'm gonna move this text and drop it on the floor. Right? So one of the good things is that you can literally drag different elements across pages, which is so easy to do. You can just ensure that your text or with all the elements that you want to move is grouped. So you can group them. If you want to ungroup it, you just simply tap, and then I'm going to group it and move it across different pages, right? So it's easy to move, easy to navigate. All right, so I'm now going to go into Canva's library, and now I am going to look for a video. All right. And the topic is about entrepreneurs, so pretty much I'm going to look for any content that's related to that. And we have tons of videos here, and I can just drag and drop, right? And we can just adjust as needed. I can, right? I can move my photo to the, or my video, I should say, to the back. If I want to make a slight adjustment, I can do so, right? I can, adjust as needed, right? And one of the things is make it your own. I mean, you're using a template, but don't just stick with it. You can change it, make it your own, and make it fun. Make it, as I said, make it unique for you and your brand, right? So I have this here. I can just adjust the video, right? If I want, I could also move my elements here, right? So this is just one way I could just start adding my own little, you know, changes to this particular template and make it my own. Could move the text here, and I could just move this element. I can rotate it, right? Move it here, move it down just a little. Yeah, this is it. So that's it, right? And also be mindful of the length of your page. You can make it as short of as 0.1 second, and you can make it as long as 12 seconds, right? So you realize Canva kind of give you like a guideline here. But remember, you want to catch person's attention. You want them, if it's something where you're providing tips, you want it to be long enough for them to read it, but also short enough that it's not like lingering, All right. So we have this, and now I'm going to look for another graphic and just drag and drop. So these videos are available on Canva. Like I said, some videos are for free. However, for other videos, they are also available in Canva Pro. And if you do have Canva Pro, you can try it for free for 30 days and see, and try just the different features, especially as relates to creating videos. All right, so I'm gonna make this shorter. All right, probably like 1.38 seconds. Yeah, 1.5, and then I'm gonna do another video. And any questions? If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I will be glad to respond to them. Right. Okay, cool, 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 cool. This is us. Let me just do a little rotating here. All right, cool. So this is pretty much that. Like breeze. Breeze. Like how easy was that? Yeah. One of the things I'm going to give you some quick tips. So these are some quick tips. I'm gonna just drop that in there. Let me give you some quick tips on how to make the most of Canva for your Instagram. So one, keep it short and sweet. Keep it short and sweet. Keep your reels short and sweet. In the past, I have created reels which is 90 seconds, so 90 seconds long, right? Because you literally can create reels. The length for an average reel, or that's the length that Instagram allows, is 90 seconds. So before, I used to create this minute and odd long type of reel. Not that people weren't watching it, but they would just drop off by 30 seconds thereabout, because them are like, where the girl I go with this long reel, even though the video, I would say, is good content, but if, as I was saying, like if you're not catch them quick, in them not stay with you. They're literally not going to stay with you. So one of the things is to ensure you keep your reels short and sweet. Before you start creating a reel, have a plan, right? So have a plan. What do you want to communicate? What are you saying to your audience? Like, what are you doing, right? Think about that, and you know bear that in mind. Of course, utilize Canva templates. Those are really good. It helps to kind of give you some guidance. All right. I'm going to give you some more tips in a sec. So we're on the final page here, and I'm going to show you how you can use an element called gradient, right? Because the text is here. I'm going to add a gradient. So I'm going to elements, right? And then I'm going to the section that says graphics. If I choose photos, I'm going to just show you. If I choose a gradient that's a photo, I can't change the color. So I would just have to work with this purple. But if my brand colors aren't purple, then it wouldn't work well for me, right? So what I do is to utilize the gradient from the section that says graphics. And I normally choose this purple looking one here, or you could choose this one, but this is a photo. So I look for the graphic gradient, and then I can just make it, resize it, and then I can change the color, right? So you can use that kind of thing. Change the color, and I can use the transparency tool, right? I can make it bright, I can make it lighter, make the most of a transparency tool, right? And I'm going to change the color, right? So you decide which color you want. In this case, we're going to use like a nice purplish. I hope I'm not overkilling you guys with purple, right? But I'm just showing you how you can literally so I'm going to move. Right, I change the placement of the transparency of the gradient because I want my text to be at the front. I'm going to change the color of this call to action button. No, green don't look right. Can I use black? Can I use any other color, but ensure it is readable. People can see a thing and read it and understand it easily. Yeah. All right, so this is it. I can make it larger. My text here, can move it up. Read caption 4, bonus tip. All right, so we gave them some tips before, but if you want them to go in your caption to read like probably an offer so you have, then you can use this as a call to action. Right, so I'm gonna make this smaller. All right, cool, got that. And I'm gonna make it the length or the duration of this page shorter. All right, what else do I need to do? All right, so change this. All right, so remember earlier I was sharing with you that you can use the sync beat. And that's what it's called. Okay, so this is transitions. We're gonna talk about transitions in a sec. But let me just go a quick play. So this video is actually 9.9 seconds, not bad. I'm gonna do a quick play and then determine if you want to change anything at all about it. Right? So already you realize two things. You realize that the sound track was short, so it didn't run to the entire duration of the video. I'm going to show you how to lengthen that. So we're going to go to this section and lengthen that the beat. And as I was saying, you can change the length here. All right. And I'm going to tap the beat or the track that we're using. This is purple section, and then I'm going to go to beat sync. So beat sync, as I said, it's where it sync your pages and elements, so they'll be automatically timed to the music. So I'm going to turn that on. Everything is synced to the beat. That's what they say. All right. I am going to make my thing longer, and now I'm going to play. Let's tell me if you see anything different when I play. Okay, let's go. All right. That's it. All right, so this is pretty much our reel. It's 12 seconds long. If you want to make it shorter, you would go to your tab and change the duration, or the length, I should say. I'm going to show you how to do transitions between your videos, between your pages, sorry. And then we can just, hold on, that's adding a page. Let me undo. Let me go to this little tab and go to add a transition. Right. So over this side, we have the transition. So we have none, we can dissolve, we can slide, right? I'm tapping them and you can see we can circle swipe. You can do a nice flow. I like the flow. You can stack, you can match and move. So there are quite a few options, and Canva is rolling out some new stuff. If you have the Canva Pro version, you'll realize them. Also, I should mention to you, there are lots of features that I would have on my Canva currently because I'm a Canva certified creative. So chances are you can see, like, I would have access, not chances are, I have access to some beta version in terms of features, right? So if you don't see it on yours, it's coming. All right, it's coming. All right, so that's a transition. Am I missing anything? So this is our reel that we created in Canva. All right. Let me know. Do you have any questions? This is literally just the two reels I was planning to show you guys. And so just to recap, so I'm gonna recap, and then I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you some more tips on how to create your reels in Canva, and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the comment box. Let me know. I also want to mention to you that this live will be available for replay. So it will be posted on my Instagram page as well as my YouTube page, and it will be available for the next 72 hours. So if you feel like you missed anything, definitely rewatch the video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm glad to respond to you. And yeah, so it'll be up for 72 hours. And yeah, ask me any questions. So just to recap, so I showed you how to create or how to transform a photo into a reel using the Canva animated feature, right? Which is very important. This is the key feature that we utilize to make our photo animated or just to get the effects that we want, right? Remember, content is king, but video is the go-to. Like, video is the thing that is dominating the social media space, right? And so you can utilize Canva free version and the pro version to create your reels, right? Pretty much. What Canva Pro does, it gives you access to a wider range of features and allow in terms of things you can do, right? So one of them is the sync beat. I showed you that earlier, right? So if you want to sync your music to the pages for your reel, then that's available for Canva Pro. And of course, if you don't have Canva Pro and you've never tried Canva Pro, you want to try it, then of course you can click the link. I'm going to share the link is available on my Instagram bio, right? But it's also available on my YouTube channel in the description. All right, cool. So that's one. So I showed you how to create a photo and turn it into a reel. No, well, use a photo and transform it into a reel, right? Then I showed you how to basically make some adjustments to Canva's existing template and make it your own, right? I also showed you how you can go through Canva's music library to get access to hundreds, thousands of music and the soundtracks, so soundtracks, sound effects, that kind of thing. You can utilize Canva's music library. You can also use the transition feature just to add some dynamics to your reels, right? And then also I showed you how to use the sync beat, the beat sync, right? Um, Pretty much that's it. So if you have any questions, just drop them here. And I would love to get your feedback. Let me know. I would appreciate your feedback, guys. I want to hear if you enjoyed this session. So if you have been joining me for the last almost an hour now, let me know. If there's anything, what did you like about this session? Do you have any comments? Drop them here. I will share this. I will keep this video up on my Instagram page and on my YouTube channel for 72 hours, right? After that, you don't have any access. But I want to mention to you that I do these videos every month, right? So this is me doing just Canva tutorials via Instagram, through the Watch Me Work series, chat and designing Canva with me, right? So we can just do this every month. And I want to mention that my next live session, right? So my next live session will be on October 14th, 6 p.m. Jamaica time, just like right now. And I will announce what I'll be going through at that time. But if you have any suggestions, if there's anything you'd like to learn in Canva or that you'd like to learn from me, then of course just let me know, right? So send me a DM, send me an email. I mean, we're on Instagram, we're right here on YouTube. You don't need to send me an email, just leave a comment, and of course, I will, respond to you. All right. So thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for joining me for another Watch Me Work series, chat and designing Canva with me. My next session will live session for this series will be on Saturday, October 14, 6 p.m. Jamaica time. And I want to mention that I will be announcing my Canva course next week, Friday, which is September 29. So you want to keep posted for that. And pretty much, I have some good stuff coming, guys. Some really good stuff. So, yeah. All right. So, thank you for joining. If you're just joining, guys, I'm wrapping up. But the live will be available for 72 hours. If you want to watch it live, if you have any questions, all right, just send me a message. Thank you guys for joining. Have a great weekend. Bye.